I want to bring it back real quick because I heard a rumor that at one point in time, when Murder Inc. linked up with Suge Knight,
Yeah.
there was talks about you guys becoming
A distribution.
distribution.
Not just Suge, it was Jay Prince.
Jay Prince also.
Yeah. I seen things where they mentioned Dame. It wasn't Dame. It was Irv with myself, Suge, and Jay Prince. And we had a real meeting. And the meeting was, Suge was like, I got everything on the West Coast. Jay's like, Irv was like, we'll take the East Coast. And Jay Prince was like, I got everything else. A whole middle of the country. He's like, I got all of that. And the idea was to start a union and create distribution for the artists and get money from these labels, budgets that they have when they sign, make them like force the labels to put into this to create insurance and everything for
401ks.
all of that shit for artists. You know.
What happened?
The feds came in. You know, Jay Prince said in his book, I believe, he was like, he's the only one that escaped that Fed pressure. They came in right after we started talking that shit. They ain't with that. I believe that. You know, they hear everything we talking. They know everything. They know everything.
Right.
Don't ever think they don't know something. They know everything. That's why when they, let's say they picked me and Irv, they thought for sure we would just roll over. We're doing over $200+ million a year in our height. Like we're doing almost 240. It's crazy.
What did they want from y'all?
They wanted us to tell on Preem. That's it.
And that was it.
They offered us 3 deals. The first deal was a year apiece. We're facing 20 and they come back with a year. They're breaking federal guidelines just to do that. And they was like, you could go first, then he could go. This way the business never stops. So they're thinking business. That's what they said out their mouth. The business will never stop. You go 1 year, and when your year is up, he could go in, and you come home, and you go. This way it never stops. One of you here to run the business. That was their first offer to us. The next one was 6 months. The last one was no jail time. How many of y'all would have took that? Facing 20 against the feds. I tell my lawyer, Shagel, I said, fuck out of here. I said, tell these niggas stop playing, let's set a date. Shagel says, wait, Chris. They're sitting at the table with us. I said, wait, Chris, hold on. He says, can I talk to my client? And I looked at him because I'm like, why are you talking like what you saying? So we go outside. He said, Chris, as much as I know you're innocent, I can't assure you that 12 people in this system will say you're not guilty. I said, but Jerry, you want me to say something about Preem? What, you want me to lie? I'm not going to lie to just get a nigga to get myself out. So I said, if God has it for me and Irv to fight this shit from inside out, then so be it. Right. He started crying. He looked at me and started crying. He said, okay. He said, I'm going to fight my ass off for you. And we went back in and they said, let's get a date. And that's how we got our trial started. But it's just not in my moral creed or Irv's. It wasn't in our moral creed to even think that I'm going to tell on you just to save me.
Save me. Right.
Preem, in the 80s, I knew of Preem. See, this is what I had. I'm from Hollis. So you always have to explain because Hollis and Southside don't get it. We don't fuck with each other. My whole adolescent years, I fought niggas from Southside. Right. So Preem is the king of Southside. So when we started fucking with all my Hollis niggas, how you fucking with this nigga? I'm like, he's a good dude. Right. That's how. You know, he started meeting up with Irv and everything. Irv would call me like, yo, Preem is here. But why is Irv calling me? Because he don't know what's going to happen. It's the king of Southside. Right. You know what I'm saying? And but every time Irv was like, yo, it was all good. That nigga was good. Yo, it was cool. He asked me, can I make a movie? All this shit, you know? So Preem had ideas. And he got next to Irv. And him and Irv became real good friends. It wasn't me first. It was Irv and Preem. And, you know, I told Preem all types of crazy shit with him and me. So when me and him got like that afterwards. But that's the 80s. He comes home in a halfway house in the 90s. We meet him then. So we built our relationship from then till present day. You know, I talk to homie all the time now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the end of the day, from then till now, it's like, I didn't know him when he was supreme of the supreme team.
Right.
When I met him, he already finished that. That was over. So I can't tell you of anything but what I seen. And that's what I'm trying to explain to the feds or my lawyer. Like, I don't see that man do nothing but help. He only helped us. How did he help? Like I said, every street nigga was on our back. Now we dealt with some, and then some he told them, yo, they with me. And they fucking respect. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He helped me, be careful of this nigga over here. He knew people to navigate through it. We did. I knock on wood because, man, we ain't got no blemishes on nothing. Nigga. You know what I'm saying? And niggas talk about Ja when he got robbed, when he was a young boy in fucking Hollis by the nigga Life. I believe his name was Life. Troy. Thank you. Life is someone else that I'm talking about. You're right. But Troy, if you and me, you my man, I come in here, hey, what's up, man? And I spin on you. Pull that joint out, like, nigga, give me that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's big. Rule knew Troy. He, like, Rule's from Hollis. He's from Woodhall and Hollis, the end of Hollis. He's from there. And that's what the nigga did. He's like, yo, you bugging. You bugging.
Right.
And he was bugging. We got this shit right back. That's the one blemish that niggas want to always talk about, which makes no sense because it was like that could happen to anybody. If their man feels jealousy or envious of you for something. It's nothing you could do. You stuck in a rock and a hard place.
Basically.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what he did. He turned it in, and that turned into everything. It was crazy. That made no sense.
You know, people expect rappers to be superheroes.
It don't matter. You know, we're real life superheroes. Like, I don't care about all this fantasy shit. That's why I said you can't stop me. I'm gonna do what I do. And then when you talk, I'm about disruption because I'm about us. And everything designed when you get into the crux of it. And I'm inside of it with a lot of white boys that are good, dear friends. And they understand my plight and what I'm about. So that's why we can still work and do things. But at the end of the day, if I see something, I'm trying to break it down. That Tubi shit. When they see niggas making millions of dollars, because a nigga was on the floor, he gets shot in the movie and he start talking and it go viral. Because that's what it was. That's what it was that made Tubi pop off.
Right.
Niggas got shot and he's like, yo, is it over yet? And that shit is in the movie.
Right.
Viral. Guess what? That's when they like, how are they making this money? That's how. That's our culture. We make something from nothing. They don't understand our humor or things we laugh at. Like, they don't get it. So when I see that...
Right now, it's a war.
Yeah. Why you think Kanye was making all the rants, bro? You think Kanye really crazy? Crazy?
I don't think that he's crazy. I think that people believe that he's crazy.
When you reach the pinnacles when you reach the pinnacles of the things he reached, he cannot believe he can't do something. And they show him you can't, nigga. See, that's the reality of what he goes crazy. They show him, like, as much as he feels in his mind, whether it's real or not, it don't matter. He reaches the pinnacle of things. And then they say, you can't do it? What? You think they telling Elon Musk he can't do something?
No.
You understand what I'm saying? You think they telling Zuckerberg he can't do? That's how he feels. So when he does his rants, I be understanding because I get it. And I understand the powers that stopping shit that you got to deal with. And it takes that crazy shit to break that shit.